Okay. I can see smile in many of your face. That's good. Okay. Good morning, dear children. Very good morning and namaste to all of you. You know, I am Robinson Crusoe. I am here to teach you about myself. You have a lesson in your English textbook, right? So I thought, okay, let me visit class 5A. Whose mic is on? Lohit, off your mic. I thought, let me visit the kids of class 5, meet them, speak with them, and share about my experience. Okay. I will show, I have some pictures. I have a habit of writing and keeping many things. Okay. So I have my pictures too to share with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present the pictures as well as I'm going to share about my experience, what happened, all those things. Okay. So already I said you have to maintain proper silence. That is very, very important in the class. Okay. Dear children, you know that, do you know I was very much interested in sailing. Listen carefully, you'll have a test after that. Sailing means a voyage, a travel made by a ferry or a boat or ship, especially according to a planned schedule. I was much interested to travel. I was involved in a series of violent storms at sea and was warned by the captain that I should not be a seafaring man. Ashamed to go home, I boarded another ship and returned from a successful trip to Africa. Taking off again, I met with bad luck and was taken prisoner in Sally. My captors sent me out to fish. I took this advantage and escaped along with a slave. Storm means a violent disturbance of the atmosphere with strong winds and usually rain, thunder, lightning. So, what happened is storm. I used to meet lots of storm and I used to come off. In fact, one of my captains said, you don't go there at all. But I never listened, But what happened after some days, I'll tell you what happened. This is how I grew up when I was young. After some times, in those days, people used to have slaves. So what happened? I was taken as a slave. I was taken as a slave. I was put in the prison. It was my bad luck that time. Okay, I was put in the prison in the place known as Sally. Okay. Then after that, one day what happened? These people, these those who present me, they thought, okay, let me send out for fishing. So what happened? I went for fishing. Can you all see me going for fishing? Deepanvita, you will answer.
Deepanita's turn.
Yeah. So what happened? I went for fishing. So luckily what happened? That time I tried and I escaped. From there I escaped. I went to another place. Okay. And there, I just took, sugarcane plantation. I used to make sugarcane plantation because I thought, let me have some source of income business. Then that time, that's what I said, slave means in those time, people like nowadays, there are maids means they have independence. Slaves means whatever it is they are supposed to lifelong time, they all will work only for that person whoever has bought them. They will pay money and buy human being. That we call it as slave, right? Yes, I landed in Brazil, and after some time, I became the owner of a sugarcane plantation. I wanted to increase my wealth by buying slaves. Okay, so with other planters, and I undertook a trip to Africa to bring back a shipload of slaves. After surviving a storm, me and others were shipwrecked. We were thrown upon shore only to discover that I was the sole survivor of the wreck of the ship. Shipwreck means destruction or loss of a ship, or sunk at sea, especially by hitting rocks. My ship got dashed to the rock and broke into pieces. Those who all they were in the ship, they could not survive. I don't know where I was, but I fell into the water. From here you have the lesson, my story. This is my previous introduction, how I was and how I got to the island. But in your class you have to watch my film, full film. Okay, what happened is, here what happened, from here you have the lesson. The ship was destroyed by the sea. Okay, so I became, just imagine, in the sea, the ship getting destroyed, and I am struggling for my life. I had to come out. This is what happened. Okay, somehow I managed and I escaped. I escaped from there and then I came out. Okay, you can see how terrible the storm is and how I have to struggle, like how the birds were flying together. No, we saw that the birds struggle to come out like that. I do struggle a lot, and I could reach some place that was one of the island. Island means, do you know what is island? I'll tell you. I'll tell you and ask you questions. Okay. The thing is, island means, here you can see a piece of land surrounded by water, all four sides water. That is island. So we have, I have a question for you. What is peninsula? You have to answer. Be ready. Always you have to keep your dictionary, children. Okay. Then what happened? Finally, I went and I found that I was all alone in one island. Okay, so what happened? I was there for many years all alone. I was there for many years all alone without anybody company. I was longing for a company. Could I get somebody? Nobody was there. I was all alone, single person there. Okay, so time went by. And when time went past like this, suddenly, children, suddenly I saw something strange there. What, these many years, what I have not seen, I saw one footstep of somebody had come. I got so scared because it was a footstep of a human being only. It was not the footstep of animal. So I got so scared. I felt, okay, something wrong, and I had to run away from there. Then what happened? That's what, when I was going to my boat, I was surprised to see the footstep of a man on the sand. See, this is the footstep. Suddenly, to see a footstep on the sand. When we walk on the sand, we can see our footsteps. Those who have visited beach and all, you can see that. Okay. Then, so what happened after that? I stood amazed. I was shocked. I was surprised. I listened. I looked all around. I could neither hear or see anything. I just, oh, is there somebody here, this side or that side? Nobody was there. But I got so scared. I felt all of a sudden there's a footprint of a human. So what I had to do is, then I went higher. I went higher to the mountain. Okay, I went higher to see whether somebody is there. I went up higher to look down. I went up the shore and down the shore, but it was no good. Nothing. I could not trace anybody there, children. Then what happened? Again, I could not find nothing else and no other footprint, but only that one. I went to it again to see whether there is any more footprints, and to tell if it had been my imagination. I was thinking, whether am I imagining it or what? And how come there's a footprint? Is it my imagination or what? I was so much confused. I started thinking again and again. Then what happened is, but I was not mistaken. I was not mistaken, for there was exactly the footprint of a print of a foot, toes, heel, every part. Here you can see, this is the heel. These are the toes. So I could see toes, heel, and every part of the foot. Okay. Here you can see. I could find no other footprint. Okay. I went to it again to see anymore. Nothing. Then finally, what happened? I got to know, oh my God, somebody has come. I could not imagine how that footprint came there. I stayed a long time thinking, but I became more and more confused. I became more and more confused. Oh, how it will be all alone in a island. Just imagine all alone in an island. I am there alone. How after that, I could not. I was just thinking and thinking, thinking and thinking what could be there. Then finally, what happened? At last, I returned home. I was very frightened looking behind me for every two steps. I used to go two steps, look behind. I used to go two steps, look behind. Whether somebody is following me, whether somebody is behind me, whether somebody is coming there. For every two steps, I was. Even the bushes, no plants. Suddenly looking at the bush, I used to think, is there somebody behind it? Or is that some person? Like that, even the bush I had mistaken. Okay. Then when I came to my cave, I call it as a castle. Castle means I'll show you what it is. This is my cave. Okay. I ran inside it as if I was being chased. So what happened? As if I'm being chased. If a dog comes behind us, how we will run so far? How we will run? We'll run as fast as we could, no? So like that, what happened? I ran as fast as I could. As if I'm chased. I went to my cave, which is known as a castle. Okay. The castle is nothing but, I'll show you. See, this is known as castle. It's a building which was built with thick walls, like battlements, towers, all those things. Okay, with the towers, all those things. This is known as castle. So I used to call my place as castle. For me, in that island, do you think I could have built all alone and the materials were not there, right? So my cave was my castle for me. I ran there as fast as I could to see whether with the fear, I ran there and I rested there. But what happened? The way I ran fast, I could not even think whether I used some ladder and went by the hole in the rock. How I climbed, it was really shocking. Otherwise, I used to usually use my ladder to climb up to reach my castle. But when I saw this footprint, I don't even remember whether I used or not. That fast, and I ran. I ran into my cave. Okay, and that night, my dear children, I did not sleep. I was totally disturbed. I was wondering what happened. Oh, somebody has come, then what will happen? All those things I was wondering. Okay, the more I thought about what I had seen, the more afraid I became. The more as and when I think, okay, what was happening? What is this? I used to get more fear. I used to become more afraid of what had happened. Okay. I thought it could be, and I know I was just guessing, it could be one of the savages of the mainland who had wandered out to a sea in a small boat. I thought it must be some.
Savage means extremely violent, wild, frightening, cruel, bad.
With very terrified, very harsh people, I thought maybe they had come there. Then actually what happened? Luckily, I was not on shore at that time. But what if somebody had seen my boat? If somebody have seen my boat, gone. I know they will get to know somebody is living, and they would have captured me. In those days, people used to eat the flesh of human being only. We call them as cannibals. So that is what I was afraid. If somebody has seen me, my boat, they will try to capture me and take me. But I realized there is somebody else on this thing who has come here and who will definitely kill and eat me. I was so scared, children. Just imagine how much fear I would have had. And so what I did, I lay fearful for many days and I prayed to God for protection. God save me, save me. I started begging, I started praying to God. Okay. Much I was much comforted and began going out to investigate. Investigate is finding out. Every time I used to go and find out who is there, somebody else is there, or what is the problem, all those things. But dear children, even when I went forward, always I used to look behind frequently because I was still scared. For many, many days after looking at the footprint, I was too scared. Okay. Then how many days can I stay inside only? I should eat, I should have some food. So I took courage, I took my own courage, I became little bolder and I started moving out. I decided to go to the shore again and examine the footprint once more. Then for few days, 1 or 2 days, I was inside. Then again, I thought, let me go and examine it. That is to look deeply into it. Examine is to look deeply into it. Okay. So what happened is, in fact, I went there. I decided to measure with my own footmark. As I came closer to the footmark, I realized it could not be my footprint because I had not come to this part of the beach since a long time. I had not come here. For a long time, I have not come. Then how could it be my footprint? I realized it is not at all my footprint. Then I thought, let me measure it. And in fact, children, see, I kept my foot, you can see here, I kept my foot on that footprint, but it seemed larger than my own. I got fear. I got fear. And then I just moved back to my cave. I got fear and I just moved back to my cave. Okay. I will just stop. I'm here. One
Ma'am,
minute. Yes. I'm coming.
that is real story.
Huh?
Ma'am, this is real story,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Robinson Crusoe, uh, it is a novel by Daniel Defoe, published in 1719. This story has been thought to be based on the life of Alexander Selkirk, a Scottish castaway who lived for 4 years on a Pacific island.
The full Robinson Crusoe's full book you can read about my story. You can read about my story. That is, I am Robinson Crusoe. Enjoyed my lesson. Let us take one picture. Let us take one photograph, and after that, I'll come back to you. One second. Okay. Bye, dear children. Hope you are happy meeting me. That is Robinson Crusoe. Meet you all sometimes later. Take care till then. Bye. Bye. Now you can continue with your teacher. Bye. That was the fun, right? Okay. Now hope are all of you enjoyed your class and you'll be happy today. We'll go to the lesson now.